Hello, 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 dolls. It is I, ArtWorkOfDR, DJ Kitty Ruby. You know, your girl. Sorry, my throat's a little right now. It's been a rough day, but today is my second day back into filming, being creative, and doing things. And it is the end of September, guys. Like, what? The end of September already? So that means like the first month of school is almost over. So all who have made it back into your schedule and you're getting your kids to where they gotta go, good on you. Congratulations, you have basically succeeded in life. I know. I'm just messing around a little bit. But truthfully, hang in there. I have 3 drop-offs in the morning. Husband to work, middle schooler, and then 2 elementary kids. So my mornings are busy. Today I had to do a parent principal conversation. Nothing bad, just letting her know information about what's been going on because my youngest has an IEP and stuff. So we're doing some stuff, and yeah. So I had to do that this morning. I'm a little tired. I just finished eating my breakfast slash lunch. Kind of ate it all at the same time, and I was like, Inktober is coming up, and I haven't done a video. I haven't talked about it or anything. So I did try to do Inktober last year. I did decent. I did not do a total of 31 drawings, but that's okay. I did my best, and I still drew stuff. I just didn't end up finishing inking and all that other stuff. But I just wanted to make a quick video about this year. I do have another video from last year. It is a bit long, and I'm trying to make this one a little shorter. So I'm just going to talk about the things that I use, some of the materials that I use real quick, and talk to you about my ideas for what I'm going to be creating. Okay, so yes, it's Inktober. It's an ink challenge, but when you're sketching out your things, you can use whatever you want to sketch with. If you want to use ballpoint pens, fine, do that. There's no rule saying that you have to do that, though. If you want to grab any of your favorite pencils, mechanical pencils, or some colored cool erase, these work really good. You can keep the lines nice and light, and you can use a kneaded eraser if need be, or this Fiber Castell one is actually really decent. I like it. It is like a dust roll one. Like when you use it, it like keeps it all beaded up instead of flaking everywhere. Those are my 2 favorite kinds of erasers. It's a kneaded eraser and this one so far. You're obviously going to need a pencil sharpener as well if you do use pencil. And I do have this nice one where it keeps it inside and you just go dump it. It's also from Fiber Castell. So when I sketch, I almost always pre-sketch. I either sketch in a sketching book, make ideas, jot them down in there. I normally use either just regular lead from one of my mechanical pencils, or I put blue lead in there or red lead in there, whichever one I want. And then I use multi different colors of these cool erase. I have a few different colors. These are just the purple, light blue, and a green one. But I do have like a whole rainbow selection of them. I really do like to make my outlines in the colors of what kind of thing I'm going to be working on. If it's going to be dark, then it can be dark. If it's going to be playful, Other than pencils, what you can do to sketch them, and like I said, is just any regular pen. It's ink. It's a pen. It's an ink pen, right? So you can use just regular ones. This is a 207 from Sango Uniball. There's a Pilot G2.7 or 07. And then I got a Pentel BK420. And they all work perfectly well. Black ink. Nice grip. You can sketch in these. You can outline in these however you want. They work just fine. You can use fancier pens. As long as they ink well. We've got multi-liners. I have a whole bunch more than just this one I will show. This is just one that I had sitting next to the desk that I grabbed out real quick. And of course, jelly rolls. They are still considered ink pens. I've got them in shimmer. I've got them in white. These are what I use to do like white highlights, shimmer bits when I do stars and stuff. Just, just say, like little accents to your pieces. It doesn't hurt. Other than those few things, my basic ink. I don't know why it looks so weird today with all the lights on. All right, there it goes. We're gonna try that. But this is where I keep my Bombay India ink. This is a cute little tin that I got a long time ago from a subscription box that I was into. It is Ghostbuster themed. It's really cute. So my Bombay India inks are in here from Dr. Phil Martin. I also have one iridescent calligraphy color one called Frosted Peach. It's really cute. You have to shake it up really good though. It does get stuck. But yeah, I just have like an arrangement of Bombay India inks. I need to get some more colors, but I'm kind of waiting on that. This is a black wash, so it's just a little bit of black ink and then water. And then I have one that is empty for just water itself, so if I want to dilute things some more, that I can. And those are just like all the different colors of Bombay India ink that I own right now. I need, like I said, I need other colors, but I'm satisfied with what I have right now to the point where I'm not in a hurry. I do, however, need to get a new white soon, because it's actually the thickest one out of the bunch. It settles a lot. Like I'm tipping this, and all that is just settlement right there. I don't even know if you guys can see that. There we go. But it's all just settlement from the ink. So I might actually add a little bit of water to that one, but I do need to get more white because that's like the only white ink I own other than the jelly rolls. And at first, when I was starting out with Bombay India inks, I thought I don't know why, but I would add white to a lot of colors and think that that would help them turn lighter or milkier. I mean, it did, but not really. You can mix them. That's not that I'm saying don't mix them. You can mix them. Just be prepared to use a lot of white if you do. And a little bit of ink goes a long way. You don't really need a lot of it. The color is so good. Like the payoff is so good of those colors. The Bombay India ink. Dr. Phil Martin also has like water liquid watercolor and stuff like that. So here's more black fine liners, black pens, gray pens. These are what I use for all my different kinds of pieces. I have different thicknesses. I have brush pen. I have all kinds of different ones here. And some of them are going to be water resistant and some of them are not. It just depends on what you want to do with that piece. Sometimes you can do the whole piece, then outline it if you want your outline to be nice and crisp, which sometimes is what I do. It just depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't like to have black outline, so I'll just use the inks or watercolors or gouache or whatever I'm using and not do an outline, which is fine. But with Inktober, I try more to have a good inking outline at least, even if I'm going to be using my Bombay India inks to ink the whole thing, do washes and all that stuff. I'm still going to want a nice line, most likely on most of these. So I have my little swatches of these, and I know which ones are technically good to use with water-based things. The Copic ones are great for that because they're Copic and waterproof. So this gray one that I have is really nice. The other Copic one that I showed you earlier, that one works well too. if I remember correctly, the La Pin one here also works well with water things. So some of them you can use to do an outline just so you don't like accidentally go over and then have a weird shaped object sitting somewhere where you're like, no, that's not what I wanted. Because sometimes you'll get really going on a piece with your ink and you're using paintbrushes and all that stuff, and you get out of line or something and you're like, no, I didn't see the line. Well, you can use, you know, what you know for sure is water soluble, or not soluble, resistant. Soluble means that it evaporates and like gets all weird. So if you want to, I would suggest using almost one of these ones because they don't come off with water. So most of these ones, they don't smudge around with water once they're in that paper. Another thing about ink, if you are going to outline before you do any coloring or filling in, if you're using colors and stuff, try to let the ink pen dry on the paper for a few hours. I've heard a lot of people say wait 24 hours. That is the best advice, is wait at least 24 hours after doing inking. But if you're trying to do a piece every day, obviously maybe you can't wait for 24 hours to let a piece dry because you've got another piece to do. So you could do a light line with just one of these regular ballpoint pens and then do your piece. And then if you want to really crisp that black line up, then go back over top with one of these when your piece is 100% dry. Because if you don't, as soon as you start using it, it's going to start feathering out. It's going to feather out throughout the piece, and it's just going to look muddy. I have learned that the hard way. I have never been that great at my inking and using waters and markers and all that stuff. But I'm trying to get better at it. That's why I like Inktober. That's why I have liked Draw August in the past. I didn't do it this year because my summer was crazy and everything. But I am going to be trying to do a little bit of Inktober. I don't know how well it's going to go. I'm just now getting out of my funk. I am on a short roll right now. Like, I have done a few days now. Today's the second day. Third day if you think about it, but really it's the second day that I've made videos and filmed and all that stuff. You're going to be seeing a few videos back to back, so hopefully that makes up for me being gone for like 2 weeks. Because I usually try to do at least one video a week, and sometimes two. Not that everybody watches my videos. I have a very small view, but you know, it's fun for me to do, and it helps me occupy my time and be creative. So hopefully it'll get better. I just have to keep going. So yeah, you can use black, gray, thick, thin. I also do have some other ones that we can show real quick. And then I've got all my colored ones over here. Like I said, sometimes you want black line, sometimes you want colored line. I have mostly these really cheap ones that I got from Wish. And then I do have one Copic color, or one Copic, one Micron, and then some Sharpies, and then a Reculation. Reculation? I don't know how to say it. But, you know, if you want to have a colorful liner, again, the same process with the black ones. Also, this year, I went ahead and got some of these mini water brushes, aqua brushes. And what I'm thinking about doing with these is when I know I'm going to need a lot of wash of a certain color, I want to actually put them in some of these. I have small, medium, and large tips. I think there's a total of 12. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make some washes and have them ready to go. So that way I can lay down color or maybe even take it on the go, because inks are hard for me to take on the go. As you saw, the box that I have them in and you need a palette unless you're going to dip right out of the thing. This is my palette that I use for inking. It looks dirty, but this is, I mean, I can wash it, but it's going to do a lot of scrubbing, and my hands just don't like to scrub. That's why my daughter and husband take turns doing the dishes, because my hands just can't take the scrubbing. My back can't take the standing, so yeah, it's not fun for everybody, but hey, it still gets done. But yeah, you can wash it right after you're done, and this won't happen necessarily. But this is the one I use. It's got nice 4 big round wells. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 nice square ones, and then it's got a row of smaller ones over here. Normally what I do is I put a row of just the flat color over here with a tiny bit of water in each one, because you need like only 1 or 2 drops of this Bombay Indie ink, and it goes a long, long way, because like I said, the color is very vibrant. So if you want, lay the colors out, use these as your mixing areas. Depending on how many colors you have, you might have to use these ones too. If you know what exactly colors you want in your piece, only put out those colors, because inks do dry. Even in a plastic palette, or they do dry. Especially if your place is heated pretty well, even in the wintertime or fall time. Because I know when I first started, I would put all the colors out, and then I'd go to use it and notice that it was starting to dry and harden. So yeah, only put out the colors you know you're going to need. It's not like acrylic paint. It's not like gouache. It's not like oil where it's just going to stay completely wet for hours and hours and hours. You can get a mister. I always say that. I felt like I'm saying it wrong. But mini misters, and you can just, keep it damp by just spraying. I do this with my watercolors and gouache as well. You can do that with your inks. It's going to add a little water in there, but it's not going to affect the color too much unless you add too much water. Okay. Oh, and you can also use your watercolor, your gouache, other things like that over top of your ink, like as long as the main thing has been inked with an ink pen, or using a paintbrush with black ink in it and outlining everything, or colored ink and outlining everything, and then you want to do a touch of watercolor or a touch of gouache, that's fine. You can also use your Copic markers. They're an ink-based product, so they count as well. I have done a few last year that were Copic, and they looked really cool. Okay, so let's talk about paper real quick. So obviously, you can use watercolor paper. I have this nice Pentalic aqua journal here that I've been using and testing out, and it's nice. The paper's nice. It has fallen apart, but I have put it through the ringer. So I do have a little bit more paper to go in here. So I'll probably use this a little bit for some Inktobering. And then this is my mixed media paper right here. I have 2 Canson mixed media. One is a 5 by 5.5 by 8.5, which is really nice. Small pieces, just like, the lighting is horrible today, but just small pieces you can do in here. A little bit bigger paper. I can't tell you the size of this because I covered it up with things, but yeah, it's nice size. I always put an extra piece of paper in between, especially if you're going to be using marker or watercolor or gouache or any kind of thing, just to make sure if you need to go build up layers that it doesn't seep through the paper. But it does work really well. So I love these. These are awesome. My Cansons. Can't get enough of my Canson. Like, I love their paper. Here is a new mixed media one that I'm trying out. It says it's good for acrylic, watercolor, pen, and pencil. I've been trying it out a little bit. Not too much. It has a nice texture to it. I don't mind it. It is a little bit more of a flimsy paper that I'm used to considerably, but I do kind of like it. So I'm going to be using that probably some more too. And then of course we've got the big pads of paper. So I've got two things of arches. They're the same kind. Sorry, they're both cold press, 300 gram. This one is loose sheets. It's only down on one side. The size is 10 by 14 or 26 centimeters by 36 centimeters. I really love arches, but it is a little bit more on the expensive side. So if you're not prepared to use the paper for your Inktober, that's fine. Pick certain pieces and do that on that if you have it. I buy some. I buy, cheaper paper too. And then this one is a block. I love this so far. I actually have an unfinished piece just sitting in here. It's all the way done on all four sides with this black gum-like stuff here. There's only one area where you put your palette knife or something down there and peel around the edges, and it comes right off. It's so nice. Keeps your paper so flat. Like, I have drenched this paper, and there's no buckling. There's no buckling, no nothing. So this is kind of cool. If you know what you're doing on it, like maybe you want to do a few washes and then draw something over top of that wash and whatever, that's kind of cool. You just can't use a light box with this, obviously. So if you need that step, this is not going to work. But you can actually do like a tracing over top where you lay the paper down and kind of draw over the lines a little bit, or like rub it down, get a little bit of that pencil work or whatever you did onto the paper that way. Sorry about that. And that'll work too. That's what I've done before. This is like the only second piece I've done in here. So yeah, I love arches. I am a cold press kind of gal. I got some hot press paper of a different brand. I didn't like it so much. I'm going to try different brands though and see. And then of course, again with our Canson, this is our watercolor one. It has 30 sheets in it. It's 11 by 15. I used this to do the my collective piece back a while ago, the one with the serpent sorceress lady, the sorceress of darkness kind of thing. So this is really good paper too. It actually does do really well with lots of layers. You wouldn't think so, considering the fact that it's a cheaper paper. You can get this for like $9 to $10, which again I am a fan of. As a mother of three, you need cheap stuff sometimes. So yeah. So these are the things that I use. I just got a new one the other day, thinking about how my work is changing and that I'm really more into art with watercolors and gouache and inks and paints and stuff. I don't know how much marker work I'm going to be doing. I do like to use marker, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, something about a paintbrush in your hand and the fact that my hands don't do fine detail as much with pens very well anymore because of this weird thing I got going on with my hand and stuff. But I don't know, like I really am into that lately, so I went ahead and got stocked myself up with paper. I do have a paper cutter, so you don't have to, get this and think, oh my god, I have to do a really big piece. Get a paper cutter. They're pretty cheap. I got mine off of Amazon. You can cut this into different sizes. You can, hold on. Okay, so, like I said, I have a paper cutter. You just cut it into different sizes, and you can paint on them, draw on them. These were some watercolor swatches. When I get new colors, I like to kind of play around with them a little bit. So, which I'm still planning on doing something with these. Anyway, Inktober is coming. I hope you dolls take the challenge on. I'm going to try my best this year. I know that since I'm just coming back into things that maybe I won't possibly do every single day, but I'm not going to sit here and doubt myself. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to do my best. You might not see a video every day, but I will try to do like a weekly video at least, showing you the process of like how many pieces I did or whatever, kind of like a looky-loo kind of thing. Anyway, I hope you dolls enjoy this, and I hope you dolls have stuck with me. I know I come and go a lot, but as I've explained, I do have like some health stuff. But I'm doing my best, and so thank you, dolls, for being my support system through all my ups and downs, and I appreciate you, dolls, so, so much. I hope you have fun with Inktober. I'm going to try to have some fun, and the theme that I'm going to go with is, like, kind of creepy. I'm not really going to follow prompts necessarily, but I do have a few saved just in case that day I'm, like, not really feeling my own idea. I might look and see if one of their ideas catches my fancy for the day. I'm not sure yet. But I would have got an idea from a friend of mine. She knows who she is. She's also here on YouTube, and she wanted to do like supernatural, spooky, like stories, like scary story kind of things. And we're both into the paranormal and stuff. So I was like, you know what, October is coming. That means it's Halloween and scary and all that stuff. So I was thinking like monster underneath the bed, what kids are thinking and what's actually there, or experiences that I've had. I could turn them into art, things like that. So I'm gonna try to do that and see how many of those kind of pieces I can get out. Inktober pieces take a toll on me a little bit because it is a lot of work. You gotta come up with a sketch. You gotta put it down on the watercolor paper. You gotta, color it in. Then you gotta line it. You gotta make sure everything's really good. But it's fun. It really is. It's to help you build your skills. If you feel like you're not up to doing it every day, that's fine. Just do your best. Do a small piece every day, just sketching it, and then like when you get around to inking it, then ink it. If you don't have fancy stuff, you don't have to use fancy stuff. Like I said, you can use cheap ballpoint pens. It doesn't matter. You can use a Bic pen. Like, I'm not even kidding. I have seen a lot of people just using regular blue ink pens or black ink pens or red ones, and their pieces come out really cool. Like, I don't think I'd be able to do that, but that's me personally. So do what fits you. Don't try to go out there and spend all your money on supplies and stuff thinking that, I have to have these and that because this artist that I follow has that. You don't have to do that. Use what you have at home. You can use Sharpies. You can use whatever you want, It's just to get you in that habit of drawing something and inking it up. You don't have to put any color in it. It can be black and white. Those options are all up to you. And like I said, I'm going to be following my fellow Inktoberans out there on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, and YouTube, because I love watching those videos. So I hope you dolls do too. Like I said, I'm not going to be putting a video up every day about Inktober, but I will be trying to do like every week or every 2 weeks, just showing the pieces that I've done and things like that, like I did last year. So I love you dolls so, so much. Thank you for sticking out with me, and I hope you enjoy Inktober, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget, keep those creative juices flowing. Have a good one.